What's up, guys? Bryson Fizz here today, and today we're going to be talking about vegetarians. The things that we look about vegetarians is that, yeah, they usually eat a lot of nuts. They usually eat fruits, they eat vegetables, they eat all that kind of stuff. They also eat whole wheat products. They also usually have gluten in their diet, whole wheat protein, which is gluten. So, as we look at vegetarians, and I made this on my website. I updated my website. Go on my website. It's not in the link below because I can't do a link below. I can actually do a link to my YouTube account and the video, but that's only when the video is done. And it will take a long time to get to that stuff for you guys. So, anyways, vegetarians. So, let me put these gloves off. My hat may look a little bit messed up, but I honestly don't care, guys. I'm gonna get the video across to you guys that I promised you yesterday, and I'm really sorry for not making it yesterday. I probably should have made it yesterday, but I kind of couldn't. There was children up here, there was people in bikes, kids in bikes, interrupting me. There were other kids in bikes, just a parent, mother was following them. I could barely finish off my last video about Bryant Stecker singing fitness. They wouldn't even let me finish it off with me singing. And everybody knows that when I sing Michael Jackson, everybody's gonna shut up. Okay. So besides that, vegetarians. So vegetarians, they have a wide selection of nuts, wide selection of vegetables, wide selection of seeds. Yeah, that fruits, vegetables. We're gonna be talking about usually the things highest in insoluble fiber, and niacin even at that. And most importantly, carbohydrate rich, as I like to call it. And as we go back to veganism, when they cut off all animal byproducts, they cut off all meat. But really, are you going to be getting selenium hyoscine? The only other vegetable that has a good amount of selenium is spinach, as we know it, and it has a whole lot of other minerals and vitamins that are in it. You go to the spinach chip video, business idea, it hasn't turned out. I haven't made the chips, so I can't honestly tell you that I'm going anywhere with that, I'm making any money with that. I'm not. I can just tell you, I can update you on that. And I hope to push forward to make the spinach chip idea, because it's an amazing idea overall, and I know you guys probably want to try it out, something healthy. It's also fun. I believe that eating healthy can also be fun. It can be enjoyable. You can be happy when you're eating something. You have to be depressed. I gotta get this in your mouth. When you really think of food as something that you need to get to your mouth, that's something you want to look forward to. Usually you feel deprived, and then you go back to your unhealthy eating habits, as we talk about it just in that. So again, vegetarians, they eat grains, they eat nuts, they eat seeds, fruits, vegetables. They eat cheese too, even. They eat dairy at that too. But the thing about vegetarians is different from veganism, different from vegans just from the start, is that they do not eat meat. Anyways, I was talking about, and this is because, again, you get ground turkey, you get ground chicken, I was gonna try it, and I looked at the thing. It's like 9 grams of saturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. It was crazy. But again, now I'd say they're a little bit paranoid that ground chicken, ground stuff has more fats than natural stuff. If you look at a chicken breast, you look at ground chicken breast, then the ground chicken breast, it goes through a processor, so it's processed, and when it's processed, there's more fat going into it. So this is one of the main reasons why vegetarians they cut off all these meats. They cut off ham, they cut off turkey, they cut off chicken, they cut off steak, they cut off beef, they cut off all of these meats as we know it. And this is most likely because that oleic acids, as we were talking about, omega-9 fatty acids, oleic acids, highest found in nuts, poultry, meat, cheese, oil is found, and especially in meat. So that's probably a reason why they switch, but it's also a contribution of them saying, yeah, you should not, you should really treat animals better, and you know, all that hippie stuff. You know, it's the only thing that you're not, that's really a sin in the Bible. Like, they think that it's a sin to eat chicken, it's a sin to eat steak, to eat all these meats. But really having a balance is really critical. It's really important at Bryant Circuit Fitness, as I talk about it all the time. And the thing about vegetarians is the same thing with veganism, the same thing with vegans. Is that they're going to have to get a whole lot of supplementations, to be getting the vitamins, the nutrients, the minerals that they're missing, and they're missing a lot. And when you constantly rely on supplementations, not just for the beneficial factors of getting supplementations. It's not even not that, but the dextrose monohydrate, a form of carbohydrate sugar that's found in all caffeinated beverages. It's the hidden sugar effect, as we talk about it. I should make a video called the hidden sugar effect. They hide all the sugar in sports drinks, energy drinks, and it's again not good for you. Dextrose monohydrate is definitely not good for you. Even if you're trying to maintain your blood glucose level, like if you're pre-diabetic, if you have type 1 diabetes, when the hormone insulin cannot be made by the pancreas and it cannot regulate. And the thing is if you have too low blood sugar or too high blood sugar, the hormone insulin cannot be made, and when it's not made, it cannot do its job, and its job is to regulate blood glucose level along with glucogen. It's a two hormone buddy job, as I talk about it. That's why I stress. It's not just, you can't have glucogen because it's not made for that. It's a partner, again, to control your blood glucose level, but it's not the main one, the number one. We look at Batman, it's like Batman, and then we look at glucogen, and that's like Robin. So it's not really important. It's still needed to regulate your blood glucose level. But again, and this relates back to my grandma. She's a diabetic. She has type 2 diabetes, and it's really bad. She doesn't even try to control her blood sugar level, and she's just increasing her intake of carbohydrates, which is doing nothing but fluctuating her blood sugar, making it's making it spike out, going at spiral out of control. So you're not regulating your carbohydrate. You're not regulating your carbohydrate intake. The thing that it's going to do is that if your blood glucose level is too low or it's too high, the hormone insulin cannot regulate it, and this leads to low blood sugar. This leads to high blood sugar when the blood sugar is too low, blood glucose level is too low to be regulated by insulin. When the blood glucose level, blood sugar level is too high to be regulated by the hormone insulin and the hormone glucogen, as I talk about it. And as we get into this, vegetarians and veganism, they rely on a lot of supplementations. And as I stress all the time that the best diet is a diet where you can clearly, you know what you're getting. You know the nutrients, micronutrients, macronutrients, macrominerals, vitamins, essential nutrients, essential minerals that you're getting. You want to make sure they get down to the esophagus, to the gastrointestinal tract, and that there's no saturated fats, there's no polyunsaturated fats, there's no dense carbohydrate foods or dense protein foods that's blocking the nutrients, blocking the food from releasing the energy in the catabolic breakdown as we know it. It processes the food and it releases energy, and from that we go on to the concept of anabolism. And after the food releases energy, anabolism, it requires energy. So if if the food never releases the energy, and you're getting no nutritional food at all, you're getting no bulk in foods, you're getting no empty calories, is that you're not going to have anabolism, you're not going to have biosynthesis, you're not going to have catabolism like our bodies were meant to go through these processes over and over again, because this is how God designed our bodies. This is how our bodies. These are our body's requirements, and when look at it, it's really crucial for your metabolism, for your basal metabolic rate. Requires the energy so it can make the offspring of the metabolism as we know it are metabolites, and metabolites, they're really critical, especially if you have a high metabolism. You're making more metabolites than usual, you have more energy, and again, increasing your metabolism, gradually increasing your metabolism, not forcing it, because if you force it, you have a low metabolism, you force it to be high, you're just going to start the growth, and it's not going to grow further anyway, so you're not going to get to a high, you're not going to get a high basal metabolic rate, where you can also burn fat, and you can also burn calories. And you're not just saving yourself like a skinny person would do with good genetics, and this is what really defines skinny people from obese people, is that obese people, overweight people, they have low metabolisms, and because they have low metabolisms, they don't have metabolism as strong, as efficient, as fast as the skinny person's metabolism. He has good genetics, he has a high basal metabolic rate, he can intake all these empty calories at all. He has no nourishment. This is going to affect his chances of diseases. But guess what? The thing is that why people are overweight is that their metabolisms can't catch up, and they're usually carbohydrate sensitive, empty calorie sensitive. And what this means is that as they increase their intake of carbohydrates, of calories, when it's going high beyond the level, and they're not even gradually increasing their metabolism, they're not growing their metabolism, they're not developing it, the thing that's going to be happening is that they're going to gain in fat when your metabolism cannot burn off the calories, when it cannot burn off carbohydrate. You're going to be gaining in fat, and that's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. I talk about the whole process. And anabolism, it's really major for the food to release the energy, because if it never releases energy, how is your metabolism, your basal metabolic rate, going to require the energy? And anabolism, we look at anabolism, catabolism, the breakdown of food, releasing energy, and anabolism. We look at anabolism as we look past catabolism. We look at anabolism requiring the energy, a breakdown that requires the energy, anabolic breakdowns, requires the energy, but what does it require? I gotta get these gloves out of my head. What does it require the energy for? It requires the energy for your basal metabolic rate, so it can make the metabolites that can aid in the growth, reproduction, and development of muscle fibers, simple to complex, small to large, and not even just at that, to expand an overall hypertrophy. And the whole process of biosynthesis connects with catabolism, anabolism, food releasing energy, nutritious food releasing energy, bargain foods releasing the energy, requiring the energy for your metabolism to make metabolites to aid in the growth, reproduction, and development of muscle fibers, simple from complex. As long as you have nutrition, you have nourishment, all of these processes are going to happen. And this is the major thing I stress in my videos, is that if you don't have good nutrition, nothing is going to be happening, because food is not even going to release energy. Then how is your metabolism going to require the energy to make the metabolites, to grow your metabolism, increasing your caloric intake, but not with empty calories, That's a major thing that people do, that overweight people do, is that they increase their caloric intake, but with empty calories. They don't do it with bargain foods. They don't do it with foods that have nutritional value for the metabolism, because the foods that have high nutritional value, they're going to be the foods getting down to the catabolic breakdowns, releasing energy, and it's going to be the foods affecting as if your basal metabolic rate can require that energy. And anabolism, as I stress all the time on my channel, metabolism, anabolism, biosynthesis on this. And this video is about 15 minutes, but I'm not done yet. I still gotta get this video maybe like 20 minutes, but I gotta make sure I inform you guys about this and cover the whole subject as we know it. So we're leading off. You have to gradually increase your metabolism, your basal metabolic rate. You can't force it to grow. If you force it to grow, you're stunting the growth of your metabolism. It's going to stay the same for a while. And when you're applying these empty calories, you can't be that skinny person that is carbohydrate loaded. You can't be increasing your carbohydrate intake while you increase the exercise before competition. Because you know what? You have a low metabolism. You have a high metabolism that's going to be working off. It burns off the calories fast. It burns off carbohydrates. It uses that as energy and burns it off, burns calories off. Even at that, and this is what I learned too, is that having a correct amount of carbohydrate intake in your diet, and this is just going to be even affecting low to high blood sugar. It's going to be affecting if insulin, the hormone insulin made in the pancreas can regulate the glucose level. It can do its job, and when it can do its job, when we look at type 2 diabetes, it can't even be made. There's too much blood sugar. The blood glucose level is too high or it's too low. There has to be a blood glucose level that is not too high or too low. It has to remain constant. It has to remain the same. It has to be balanced. And when it's not being balanced, we have to look at artificial ways and handmade ways to get insulin in us so we can control our blood sugar. And when we're just increasing our carbohydrate intake with nothing but empty calories, we're going to be getting into the state of obesity. And the people that are overweight, they have low metabolisms. They have metabolisms that cannot be as fast as people with high metabolisms that can burn off the calories as fast, can be as efficient, that can be as fast, that can be as strong as people with high metabolisms, and can take in the empty calories and burn it off just to save. Wait, it's not going to save you from diseases, just to save your body composition, just to save your vascularity level, your muscle tone, your hypertrophy, overall muscular growth, just to save all of that, those factors, and just to save all of that. The skinny people, that they have a high metabolism, they can be taking in these empty calories with no nutritional value at all. They're going to be burning off to save the body, but the body isn't going to grow because it's not going. The foods are not going to. There's no nutritious food. When there's no nutritious food, what is going to be released in the catabolic breakdown? Nothing. How is anabolism going to happen? How is your basal metabolic rate going to require the energy to grow, to make metabolic to grow, and the growth, reproduction, and development of muscle fibers, simple from complex, small to large, complex, as we talk about, the whole process of biosynthesis, breaking down energy, releasing energy from food, breaking down the food, requiring the energy for anabolism, for all these things I talk about. Even blood vessels, they require energy to supply oxygen to the muscles, to supply oxygen to the muscle tissues. And the cells, even at that, the cells too. Yeah. And when we look at LDL, we look at a blood plasma liver protein that's high in bad cholesterol, that carries cholesterol to not only the body's cells, carries it to the body's muscle tissue, and when it's being carried to the body's cells and muscle tissue, it's going to deteriorate them because why is it going to break them down? Why is it going to do that? Is the reason why is because cholesterol is being brought to the cells, is being carried to the muscle tissue too, and we need oxygen. Where is the oxygen? Where is the oxygen that the blood vessels are going to be supplying to the muscles? There's none, and that's the main point right there. When we look at that, that's the main problem that we have to solve. We have to solve this problem that we've already created. We can't avoid it, and we have to solve it. You cannot avoid something that you have created, that you have full control of. You cannot just forget it. And vegetarians, the thing is, meat's high in fats, but the right meats you don't understand is that when they're saying that, yeah, beets have high amounts of fats, but so do many other things. And the things that you're eating, like pizza, even carbohydrate-rich, sodium-rich, bad for your cholesterol, bad for your liver, pushing the polyunsaturated saturated fats. But like on your heart, you're going to be more of a chance for cardiovascular diseases, deaths, heart attacks, strokes. Narrowed arteries, LDL, as we talk about narrowed arteries, when we have bad cholesterol. When there's so much cholesterol, there's so much unnatural cholesterol, so much unneeded cholesterol, it's pounding on the liver. The liver doesn't know what to do. It's getting signals, and the liver does not know what to do. It's trying to regulate our cholesterol, but it can't when there's so much imbalance between unnatural cholesterol and natural cholesterol that it creates. And even at that, none of you guys probably know that I watch my videos that liver, unless I talked about it.